HM Queen Elizabeth II unveiled this memorial 28th of June, just before the Olympics started in the year of her Diamond Jubilee 2012. Okay everyone, you must know what I'm talking about. Here we go. This memorial is dedicated to the 55,573 airmen in the United Kingdom, British Commonwealth and Allied nations who served in RAF Bomber Command and lost their lives over the course of the Second World War. The fighters are our salvation, but the bombers alone provide the means of victory. Winston Churchill, September 1940. This is one of these, to me, one of these more poignant memorials that we have here in London. Well, maybe the country actually. This is to RAF Bomber Command. Now, of course, the Germans and some others may think differently, I suppose. And I actually, talking about that sort of thing, I should say it's not just the British, of course. I mean, mostly, for sure. But then there were plenty of people from various Commonwealth countries and also from occupied countries, I think particularly Poland, what was Czechoslovakia, and France. They were also providing pilots who either flew fighters or flew in Bomber Command. This is right on the corner of Green Park, actually. There's this Hyde Park corner over there. That's the Wellington Arch and all that. And of course over there is the New Zealand War Memorial, and on the other side the Australian War Memorial. There's Aspley House in there with I think it's the Duke of Wellington's flag flying. He's sitting on his horse, Copenhagen. Used to be number 1 London, that building, because there used to be a toll booth there. And the other side of that is, of course, Hyde Park. This is Hyde Park Corner. And this road there goes down to Buckingham Palace. We're still in Green Park. Oh, and the main road over there on the left is the road Piccadilly. And down that way, half mile, is Piccadilly Circus. We're still in Green Park. Looking at the trees, none of them are evergreen or deciduous. Oh, look at this fella there. How about that? Standing all alone. When you look at the trees, actually, most of them are like lined up in some sort of pattern, which no doubt is not a coincidence. And whoever laid this park hundreds of years ago, that was his intention, probably his, I guess, as things were back then. But as you can see, this park isn't entirely flat. It's I think it's only 40 acres. It's the smallest. There's 8 royal parks. This is one of them. This is the smallest of those 8. And it's only about 40 acres, and you see it's not entirely flat. There is a little bit of up and down, some gentle slopes, if you like. Where St James's Park, Hyde Park, Kensington Gardens are mostly entirely flat. So there's a little bit more unflatness here. One thing that's not here, that you see in the other parks, or not here so much, are flowers. There are some. And of course, in December there aren't going to be any anyway, I suppose. But there is a reason behind that. Apparently, hundreds of years ago, there was a lady by the name of Queen Caroline, and somebody remind me and tell me who she was married to. But she saw that fiendish fellow picking flowers from this park. So there were flowers once upon a time, but he did not, the cad, give those flowers to her. Oh my word. A woman's scorn and all of that, eh? Anyway. Yes, so because of that, she then forbade all flowers from growing in this park. So any flowers that were already grown were removed, and so that's why there's an absolute dearth of flowers in here. Should you come here in the summer, of course, there'll be lots of leaves on these trees, lots of shade, but there won't be that many flowers. There are some which may be here as a result of birds dropping seeds, I suppose, or the wind. But there's nowhere near the amount of flowers here that you'll see in the other parks. And like most of these things, there is a reason for that, and hopefully I've got that reason right. Anyway, the walk continues that away. That is the Wellington Arch, the other side of that tree. That's where I took that video from a while ago. I would think that if you do climb the arch, even now in December, you're not going to see Buckingham Palace, although Buckingham Palace is just over there, simply because the trees are in the way. I mean, of course, the trees don't have almost no leaves, right? But even allowing for that, you're still not going to see Buckingham Palace. So I wouldn't climb Wellington Arch just to see Buckingham Palace, because I think it'd be a waste of time. Oh, that's the new Peninsular Hotel over there. Still about 3 years to go, maybe 4 before that's ready. In fact, another thing, over there is the Stafford Hotel. It's actually not in Green Park, but if you're actually staying in the Stafford Hotel, just almost as soon as you kind of like, I don't know, 25 yards from the main door, there is an alleyway that leads into Green Park, which is, I think it's only open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m, something like that. But if you're staying at the Stafford Hotel, you can actually use that alleyway to get to Green Park, and then either go down to Buckingham Palace or Piccadilly over here, without actually going back onto the main road. That's a nice little feature that I think they should push more in their advertising. Okay, onwards.